Hey guys, hey just got back from a hunt. We're in Victoria, right up on the top in snowy region. It's pretty cool. It's a massive country though, and we're in a bit of fire region area today, so it's pretty noisy underfoot. So I've abandoned this hunt, save some energy for the next one. We've found some pretty cool places. We're just sort of exploring over the first few days to see where we'll likely target the final 3 to 4 days of our trip here. Just been sussing out the various different terrains and low-lying gullies or mid gullies or high tops, but these tops are bloody noisy. So anyway, we'll call it quits on that. But I figured I'd do a bit of a gear review. I've had a lot of people ask what we take on a day trip or an extended day trip. Call them extended because we're sort of prepared to be out overnight. The brief I gave to the guys here was don't expect anyone to come looking for you at night time. If you don't make it out at night, make sure you've got the gear to be able to stay in the field overnight, and we'll send people to look for you in the morning. But certainly can't send people looking for lost souls in the bush at night time, because we'll end up with lots more. So anyway, just a quick rundown of my gear. I run a Hunter's Element pack. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it's not the smaller one, it's not the big one, so I guess it's the middle one. I'll have a look at it when I take it off. And I also run the Bino chest rig. There's heaps of different chest rig options that you can look for. This is the one I've got at the moment. Probably the only downside that I would give it is it can hold so much stuff. You end up packing quite a bit of gear on your chest rig, but that's probably good. It takes some of the weight off your back and balances it on your front, and it's got easily accessible kit, which is really what you want. So the essentials that I put in here on the front of this, I have a just a GoPro mount. I put that on the front. The GoPro 9's got a really nice feature called hindsight, so as long as you've got a few spare batteries, it can be running on a loop, so it's recording all of the time but not to your SD card, and when you hit the button it starts from 30 seconds ago. So if Sam Deer pops up in front of you, you don't miss it because you didn't click the button. You've got 30 seconds to do so. So I run that. On the side pocket I have my GPS. This is the Garmin Alpha. I run that because I've got an indicating dog, and I need to be able to track her. Not that she roams far, so it should never be a problem, but it's the safety piece, and it's also a legal requirement to bring a dog up here is to have a GPS tracked. The Garmin Alpha pairs to the Garmin watch, so I can just glance at my watch and see how far she is away. Coincidentally, the Garmin watches also pair with the rhinos, so if you're getting messages, they pop up on your watch rather than you have to dig your GPS out if you don't want to. So that's on that side. On the other side I run a couple of little bits. The kids' radio. Funnily enough, when kids were playing with this in the front yard, it was transmitting 30 kilometers. Granted, we're up high, but I don't use a radio a lot. I really have it on me so that if I'm in trouble, I've hit the EPIRB or I've got search and rescue coming and looking for me, I can get them on a radio and try and get them into where I am. So that's why I carry that. And then speaking of search and rescue, I always carry the EPIRB. This one is the Rescue Me PLB1. It's the smallest, most powerful of its size, and it's really simple to use. You just flip the cover, push the button, and the choppers will come and get you. Gotta have this. Gotta have this. They're like $300 and they last. This one's, I've had this for ages. Expires, well, funnily enough, it expires next year, so I'll have to be getting another one or replacing the battery if that's even possible. We'll figure that out as we go. But that's what goes in this one. Side pockets are detachable if you don't want them. It's up to you. In the front, I just carry always available wind scent. Really important. Make sure you get your wind right. Another pocket here, it's empty, and then into the main one. Well, before that, I tie my earplugs here. Just reminds me to use them if I've got to. I keep them there so that if I have the time, I can try and protect my hearing. As you get older, that's going to be more important. In the front, rangefinder pairs to the scope on my rifle, so it's a Sig Sauer BDX system. This one is a Kilo 1800, can range out to about 1.2 kilometers, and auto adjust my scope with a holdover point, which I think is really great. Binos, important of course, and then under there, spare rounds. I always carry 3 spare rounds. 3 rounds in quick succession is a universal signal for help. Remember that when you're shooting. If you put 3 rounds into the arse or something, try and put a 4th one out at some point, just to remind people that that wasn't an emergency, but those 3 rounds are sitting there for that. And in the front pocket is all my license gear. Alright, so that's all my permits and what have you. Just sits there. It's always available. That's the chest rig. Has a lot in it. It's got a pocket under here as well, sorry. I carry a spare magazine with 3 rounds in it, and various other little bits and pieces, but nothing vitally important. The other good thing about some chest rigs when you get them is they come with these optional clips to clip onto your existing pack harness, so that you don't have to wear another harness underneath this harness and have it rubbing and uncomfortable. Really important if you're spending hours in the field to have a comfortable pack. So it does up around my waist, does on up here, keeps it high on my chest. It's actually quite good to lean on when you're using your binos as well. But that's the chest rig. Gloves, should I mention it? Yeah, I suppose I should. I'm doing a review of what I take into the field. I always wear a pair of gloves, even if it's just a pair of cycling gloves with pads on the palms. I don't necessarily wear these to camo my hands, although they do say that deer recognize your face and your hands as a sign of threat. I actually wear these to stop abrasions. When you're climbing and grabbing and doing stuff, it's easy to get thistles, it's easy to get stinging nettle. I wear gloves just to stop that. It's important that you keep your hands free from too much damage, otherwise you have a bit of a shitty time. A couple other things I have on my pack. That's just a universal mount. I can put my SLR camera if I'm carrying that around. Sits on there. Obviously the main things around water bladders and whatnot. Okay, in my top pocket, right in the hood, or underneath the hood of my pack, I carry first aid kit. It's always there, along with other important accessories. Xylem stick. It's going to help you light the way if you have to use it. It also gives you something to hang into a tree if people are coming to look for you. I carry a backup battery kit for my phone, cable of course, and whatever batteries I need for radios and what have you, GPSs, things like that. I keep a full set of replaceable batteries for everything in the top hood. In the top of the pocket of the hood, all important shit tickets, need those, and that's about it in there. In the front pocket I carry a couple of things. In the front pocket I carry my knife, knife and steel, just a decent knife. I just carry one, get a decent quality one that holds an edge. Get one for Christmas, it's good. Another really good thing that I think you should take, especially if you're looking at new country, is a pair of 60s. I drop them on my belt if I'm getting into blackberry, if I'm working an area for a number of days. Then if I'm going to go up a gully that I want to go up a number of times, then I'll trim the track along the way. Stops me pushing things out of the way, and it also allows me to have a nice clear track through. It's nice for the dog too, not to have to walk through blackberries all the time. That's in the front pocket. Middle pocket sits in here. I really just carry whatever food I want to bring, and I always pack it in one of these bags because it also then becomes a rubbish bag to pack things out. A nut mix, a couple of chocolate bars and a muesli bar is usually enough. Aldi make a really nice one: cranberries, almonds, white chocolate. Pretty good. Alright. Main pocket. I'm getting into the serious stuff. Usually I have a thermal layer in there. I'm wearing it today, so it's not in there. A jacket. We're expecting rain. I take my jacket. I also take the jacket because like I said, I tell people that they need to stay out in the bush overnight. They need to be prepared. That Swazi jacket will keep me alive. Pick whatever brand you want, but something that's seriously waterproof is a good idea. Can also make a good cover if you've got to sleep out on the ground. I won't take the water bladder out, but it's in there. I usually carry a flask of hot water. It's enough to make 2 coffees, or rehydrate a rehydrated meal. Carry a dry bag. If you buy things from Elton Goods can send it to you in a dry bag. Sadly, the mice ate the bottom of mine. Fellas from Elton Goods, feel free to replace it if you want to. It's not mouse proof, sadly, but it still makes a really good carry bag for whatever food I'm taking. I like to use things like this. Super blends, it's already cooked. You've just got to heat it up. Then I throw a can of tuna. I use half of one of them, a can of tuna, and can of beans or something like that. This is black beans and charred corn. That with some tuna and the rice is a big meal. Also take a couple of these in my food. Dog done coffee. I've tried so many different types of coffee. I've carried percolators. I've got the Wakako plunger. That's the best. Makes good coffee. Makes strong coffee. But it's my food bag. Should be dry. It's got a hole in it, and make sure that you don't get any rubbish and stuff all over your the inside of your bag. Now the next kit is, this is my processing bag, right? So everything I need to carry out something will be in here. All right, so that's what they call that one, a cape bag. It's just to keep the air circulating through something. But I then carry just a strap, goes over your shoulders. It actually sits on your pack straps. It's got 2 carabiners. I can clip through the back legs and carry 2 back legs out over my shoulders. Might struggle to carry 2 sambas, but a couple of reds and a couple of fallow, no problem. It just gives you something to, you know, separate the weight, put it on the back straps of your pack. It's a good way to carry. So I recommend getting a bit of that webbing. I've done it with sticks before, it's less comfortable. I always carry rubber gloves. From processing meat, I like to do it clean, keep the germs off. If you're camping, you can have crap under your fingernails and what have you, and it's not the best to be dealing with meat. And then I carry a few of these game bags. Right, so you can get these from the butcher. It's a ham bag, good size. Put a hock in there, keep the flies off it. And then inside that, you also carry mutton cloth or cheesecloth. You can stretch that over a leg or a carcass, and again, keep the flies off as much as possible. So that all goes in there. That, along with a knife and sometimes a gimbal, is what I need once I've got an animal on the ground. That's it. That's everything apart from the water bladder. That's all I carry on a day trip. So I've got shelter, I've got warmth, I've got the kit that I need to track binos, some food, and a way to process an animal is all you really need. And that's under 10 kilos of gear, really sitting on your back. And if you've got a decent pack, you barely even notice it. Hope that's helpful. Got any questions, post them. More than happy to answer anything you've got, or tell me what you think I've missed. Other than that, bit of a blaze buff, and you're away. Get out there hunting, enjoy it. I should be, but it's too fucking noisy. Sorry, some people don't like me swearing. It's too noisy.